Hi, you're looking to start a business from home, and I'm going to give you 10 tips that you need to think about before investing in a business. Number one, is it something you can be passionate about? Listen, starting a business may sound exciting, but there will come times that it's difficult to do what you're supposed to do every single day. If you're not passionate and excited and emotionally attached to what you're doing in your business, don't get involved. It might sound like a good idea, but if you cannot get emotionally attached and excited about the work you're doing that you would do even if you weren't getting paid, even if there was no end payout, you would still do it. It's probably not a business that you want to look into. Number two, is the business or the service or the product that's being offered something that's essential? When times are tough, will people still purchase from you? This is an important question. A lot of people have great businesses, but they're not essential. And when times are tough, when there's an economic decline, your business can go by the wayside while people go looking for essential items. You want to make sure that whatever you're offering, people will purchase even when times are tough. That means your product or service has an effect that's so profound on people, they cannot live without it. Number three, is that product or service something that they need to repeat purchase? We all know that generators are a product that many people need during a hurricane season, during a catastrophic event. So that's almost an essential item, not a constantly essential item, but it's an essential item. But how many generators are you going to purchase in your lifetime? One. Whatever you're going to be investing in, you want to make sure that your customers that you get in that first year will be repeat customers. Not only will they share how amazing your product or service is with others, but they'll be repeat customers, whether it's a weekly repeat customer, a monthly repeat customer, all important. Let me give you an example. You don't want to be purchasing jewelry and selling jewelry. Most women do not buy jewelry every single month. They might buy one good piece a year, maybe that, if that. Jewelry is not a great investment because there's not a repeat customer purchase on a regular basis. Four, you want to consider, what is the startup cost? How much is it going to be out of my pocket right now, and what is my monthly overhead? These are very, very important things to consider. Whether or not you can afford the monthly overhead and how much you need to pull out of your pocket right now to get that business up and running. There are businesses you can start for under $100. There's businesses that you can't start for under $100,000. What can you afford, and know what that monthly overhead cost is to keep that business running and profitable. Very important. Number five, how long until you can make money back, until you're profitable. I remember a friend of mine started a franchise a couple years ago, and I said, well, this is how much it's costing to invest in it. How long until you're going to get that money back? And I remember she said, I don't know. It's a very important question. If you're going to be investing $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 in a business, you want to know what is the projected timeline if you do A, B, C, and D to get that money back in your pocket, and then to have a repeat profit, whether it's a weekly or a monthly basis. Number six, and this is important, the system of proven success. Is there one in place? Are you just forging a new road? Are you just starting your own business and I think this is a good idea, I'm just going to try it? Well, first I will say, more than likely, there's been enough time that's gone by in our world and our history that whatever you're thinking of, someone's probably thought of it before. Maybe not. Maybe you've invented something amazing, but if you're going to invest in a business that others have done, how many have had success? Is there a proven success system? Is there something you can plug into and follow? Or is half of your time going to be spent figuring it out? Are you going to spend the first 2 to 3 years trying to figure out, does this work or does that work? If there's a proven system of success in place, your time for profitability is much faster. Very, very important to look into. Number seven, who will you be working with? This is very important. Are you going to be working alone? Do you have a team of people that you're working with? Are there a group of leaders or mentors that you can plug into who've had success in the past, who can help you as you're struggling and give you advice on things? Or are you just forging it on your own? It is always good to learn from others who have forged the path before you. 8, how much can you make? How much can you make? Is there a cap? I remember when my children were little, we had friends who ran kind of a small preschool program. And they had every single room in the program filled with as many kids as they can put in. There's a cap to how many kids you can put in the room. And they're only going to pay the teachers so much money. there's only so much money that can be made. The only way to make more money in that little preschool program was to pay the teachers less or to overpack how many children were each classroom. So no matter what, there was a cap on how much they could make. I remember thinking, what a horrible business plan. There's a cap. So you're pouring all your time and effort in, but there's only so much that you can make. Think about a restaurant, even if you're booked at full capacity, night after night after night, there's only so much money you can make unless you begin to franchise and go off and get other businesses. It's important to know, is there a cap to how much I can make? Maybe it doesn't matter to you. Maybe $200,000 a year is great. I personally would love to have no cap. 9, how much time of yours will it require? A lot of people, I think, underestimate when they start a business that, oh, I'm just going to put in, 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week. I had someone reach out to me for my business the other day and they said, I'd love to be making $100,000 a year. And the question was, how much time would you like to be putting into that per week? 4 hours per week. My friends, that is not a real business. There is no business in which you can start it by putting 4 hours in a week and 6 months later be making $100,000 a year. That's just not legitimate, quite frankly. So how much of your time will it require? And also be thinking, how much of my time am I willing to put in? I'll go back to my friends who have franchises. When they started franchises, I think every single one of them underestimated the amount of time that they would have to spend at their centers, their brick and mortar locations. And then the holidays and the vacations, and yes, they began to expand and get other locations, but they were literally handcuffed to those businesses. How much time are you willing to put in? Are you able to walk away in the future to where you're not having to put as much time in? Just know how much it requires in the beginning to make that money back, to get to where you're bringing in what you want to bring in, and whether or not you can walk away from that. And number 10, will that business be here in 10 years? You guys, such a small amount of businesses actually make it past the 5-year mark. You want to make sure that your business, there's a success record in the past, that there's a system in place, and that other people have proven that it can make it. You want to, in my opinion, make sure that whatever you're investing in, there are people behind that business who have deep pockets. So you're not worried about your business going away in a couple of years, that it's not a fad, that it's not a bunch of hype, that it's going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Because the last thing you want to do is pour your money and your time and your efforts into something that 3 years later is gone. Those are my 10 tips, my friend. I hope you've subscribed to my channel. And if at this point you're thinking, well, gosh, maybe the business I was looking at isn't the business for me, I hope you'll consider that business that I started in 2008 that has absolutely exploded for my husband and I, that will be here not in 10 years, but in 20 years, 30 years, and 40 years for our grandchildren, that has given us residual income that we've been able to walk away from our full-time careers. Does that happen for everyone? No. Work ethic is so important. How much time and effort you put into building your business. But I've worked it consistently. We have a system in place. I've helped tens of thousands of people change their lives. And I would love to chat with you about whether or not this is for you. So subscribe to my channel, click the link below. I would love to see you check out what our business is all about. You don't know if it's for you or not, neither do I, but you'll know after you take a look. I promise within about 10 minutes of watching, you'll know this business is for me or it's not. My name is Rachel Garcia. Thank you so much for taking a look.